Hello, and today's lesson is going to be on the blues. We're going to have some fun with it. As many of you know, the blues is basically a pattern of 1-4-5. Today we're going to do it in G. So G would be 1, and 4, G, A, B, C. That's how you do it. It's numerical. Anyway, A, B, C 7th would be 4, and D 7th would be 5. So we're going to play all 7th chords, G7, C7, D7, and it's 12-bar blues. Okay? Sometimes in the 12-bar blues, they'll do the first couple of measures on G7th, and they'll stay there for four bars. And then they'll go to C7th for 2 bars. Then back to G7th for 2, and then D7, C7, G7, D7 brings it back, and you have your 12 bars. So let's get started. Let's take a look at some of the notes we could play in G. What we could do is we could take a look at the regular pentatonic scale for G, and then you could bring it up to C, play it in C. When you go to C, and of course D, if you want to move it up to D. Okay. Now, here's something I'd like to show you. It's you know, because sometimes you could go a little bit outside of it. You have the pentatonic scale here, but if you look at the G7th, you also have a major third right here. You can add that to it. And then on the second string, you have a 13 or a 6 right here. And you have a 9 here. So we could add those 2 notes. But I suggest if you're starting out with this and you just want to have some fun, just look at the root. Look where G is all over the guitar. G, G, G. Wherever you can find G. And then look at it this way. Here's G. Now if you go 2 frets up from there, that's the 9 or the 2. Then the minor third and the major third. So you have. Then if you drop down right from there, you have the 5th and the 6th or 13th. So you have a little pattern like that. Then so you can try that little pattern also. But you know, one of the most important things to do is play in the groove. If you play in the groove, you can get away with almost anything if, you know, it's not too crazy, but the groove would say you just... I mean, that's nothing really difficult, unless you're starting out. I wouldn't say it's all difficult, but you know, you have to get involved in it and see what's going on. And that's it. Just play and timing. It's all about timing and the groove. Okay, so let's start this first section. I'll put the rhythm section on and I'll play the pattern through twice. So we're going to have G. What I'm going to do on one measure, and I'm going to go to the 4 chord on the second measure, just for a little change. Then back to the 1 chord for 2 more measures. Then back to C7, the 4 chord, for 2 measures. Then back to G for 2 measures. Then D7th, C7th for 1 measure. Then G7th, then D7 starts it all over. Okay, and then I'll do it again. So I'll do two patterns of that, and I'll play around with some of the things we talked about. And also, you know, you could do little off-the-wall things, not too crazy, but here's your 5th in your pentatonic scale. That's the 5th tone. You could flat that and make it sound cool. And then resolve it back if you like. You can hear how the 5th sounds. The flat 5, we would call it a flat 5 because we flat it. And listen to this. That's the flat 5. Has kind of a cool sound to it. We call it a blue note. And let's give that 12-bar blues a shot. Here we go. And we're Okay, you just heard the 12-bar blues in G. So what I'd like to do this time is let's fool around with the changes a little bit. We'll kind of jazz it up. Notice I put the word jazz in there. But we'll dress it up with some chords. It'll still be 12 bars, and it'll still have that blues feel. But it'll just be a little more interesting for some of you that are a little more further along. So what I'm going to do is we'll do the one chord, G7th for 1 bar, C7th for 1 bar, G7th for 1 bar, 2 bars, I'm sorry, 2 bars. Then go back to C7th, 2 bars. Then here's where we're changing it. G, then we're going to A minor 7th, B minor 7th, little climb, little tension with B flat 13, A minor 7th, a little more tension with A flat 13, which resolves to the G 13, which is here's the turnaround, which turns you right around and puts you back. Here it is. G13, B flat 13, E flat 9, D9. Each one of those chords are like a half a step off just to create tension, and it resolves. If you notice that turnaround, how it resolves. So I'm going to do that pattern twice. I hope you enjoyed our lesson today on the blues, and you picked up something that may help you out. It's always good to have. And if you ever want to get in contact with me, this is my website right here. Feel free to just email me something, and hopefully you're strumming along and everything's going great and you're having fun with it. So enjoy the rest of your day. Jerry Topinka out. Take care.